Fearless and courageous are words used to describe former Vice President George Kunda by his fellow legal practitioners.
He was a courageous man who stood for what he believed. Whether you agreed with him or not, he stood his ground. He was a courageous man.
He was forever bringing up suggestions to amend certain pieces of legislation. So I think from that perspective, George will be missed immensely.
A very straight person, hardworking, fearless. You know, once he believed in something, he would say it.
The late George Kunda, State Counsel, was a gallant lawyer. He contributed immensely to the development of jurisprudence in this country.
A special session for the Supreme and High Court has been hosted in his honor. His 30 years of practicing law speaks volumes of what he has contributed to the legal fraternity. The late former Vice President and Justice Minister George Kunda has been described as a dignified person in both good governance and promotion of the independence of the judiciary. Chief Justice Ernest Sakala says Mr. Kunda has left a legacy that as a lawyer, regardless of what positions they hold in society, they should never sacrifice the rule of law. Justice Sakala says the late Mchinga Member of Parliament supported the independence of the judiciary and further facilitated the construction of 100 local courts in the last 3 years. Solicitor General Musa Mwenya says though he had differed with Mr. Kunda on several issues, the late former Vice President had extreme important attribute of courage as he was fearless. Law Association of Zambia President James Banda has described the late senior member of the bar as a person who was dedicated to the improvement of the legal fraternity. The late former Vice President George Kunda was admitted to practice as an advocate in Zambia in 1982. In 1990, he was admitted to practice as a solicitor of the Supreme Court of England and Wales. Mr. Kunda was also a qualified arbitrator and mediator. Under the Law Association of Zambia, he served as Honorary Secretary, Vice President, and eventually became the President of the association between 1996 to the year 2000. He was also a chairperson of the Council of Ziyali. The late senior member of the bar also served as an advocate in the year 1981 at Wansha District Council. He later on opened his own law firm and practiced as George Kunda and Company. In the year 2002, he was nominated Member of Parliament while he served as Minister of Legal Affairs. Mr. Kunda was in 2006 appointed Minister of Justice and Attorney General. He was appointed Vice President under Rupia Banda's regime in 2006, the position he held until last year's elections. Mwapek Mwenda, Movie TV News in Lusaka.